It's Josh on the Battleground Podcast on iHeartRadio, here with TNA stars Nic Nemeth and Moose, who are going to be facing each other this weekend at TNA Victory Road, Friday night, as a matter of fact, and Saturday at San Antonio. Guys, how are you?
I'm doing
Doing great, man. Busy.
Excellent.
We're all over San Antonio this week. So
Excellent. Yeah,
Moose and I individually, together, you name it, we'll be throwing out the ball at the game tonight. Bunch of stuff.
Nick, after the show on Saturday, you have a post-show meet and greet. I see that with
yes,
two other
that is
stars
accurate.
as well.
Yes.
So that is excellent that you're doing that. Let me start with this, Nick. You've had a storied career. Moose, you've been a dominant force in Impact Wrestling. I need to know what has drawn each of you to this moment, facing each other Victory Road. Do you feel like the match is a clash of styles or a perfect alignment? Nick, we'll start with you.
I don't think it's a clash of styles or a perfect alignment. It is what it is, and here's the deal. I've had one match with Moose, singles match, and he's won. He kicked my ass. He beat me. And now he is no longer the champion. Now it's not so much the system has his back at all turns. It's I'm the champion, and he has to go above and beyond and dethrone me to beat me. So now seeing that, we finally see Moose, who's not the champ for the first time in 2 or 3 years or whatever the hell it is, and he has to overcome the odds and win. Even though he says he is the favorite and I am the underdog, and I totally get it based on his track record and his size, but also, shouldn't we count my track record too? Is like 19 years of stealing the show and walking back through the curtain and telling everybody to follow that. But now I do it as champion, and I'm proudly the TNA champion. And I've said this a million times. If I wasn't world champ for TNA, I would still be the ambassador doing this same interview right now because I love getting the word out about the roster, the talent, the people behind the scenes, everyone pushing as a team for TNA to go even further than Moose has gone so far, which is a great deal. And he's done a fantastic job. But now he is out of power, baby, and I'm the champ, Jack.
Moose, clash of styles or perfect alignment?
I think it is a perfect alignment. I mean, a lot of fans, I go and look on social media a lot to see what the fans think of our product. And I know when this match was brought up, there was a fear that there wasn't any story behind it because of how soon it was from one PLE to the next. But I think this is why TNA is great.
You gotta stop saying PLEs. We're pay-per-views, brother. Come on.
Pay-per-views. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm just used to saying that. But this is why I love TNA so much because the story tells himself. Like the first time. Nick came into the company and he took me out, which led to our first time matchup when I was a champion and he was a challenger. I whooped his ass because that's what I do to everybody. And now he's a champion and it goes full circle and I'm the guy that's challenging. And the story tells itself because he's the champion that's never beat the challenger. And I'm the challenger who has whooped his ass. So we don't need a long-term rivalry because the story tells itself, and I'm looking forward to it. I respect Nick. He's done a lot for pro wrestling. He had a 19-year great career that a lot of people would die to have in WWE, but now he's with us and he's bringing more eyes to the product. With that being said, I was going to love whooping his ass and being a 4-time TNA World Champion.
Good luck to you both, obviously. Nick, what does this new chapter in your career represent, and how does a match against someone like Moose, known for his intensity and athleticism, set the tone for what's to come?
It really is, I don't see it as a clash of styles or whatever you said, perfect alignment. I just I do my homework. I love wrestling. I love doing what I do. And I'm not okay with doing just as good as I did the week before or the night before. I have to, I lie awake in bed figuring out how do I make it better? What do I do better? How do I evolve even more? And I feel like I've been very fortunate, but I've been very lucky in this business to where, 19 years, no crazy injuries. Anytime I've ever been asked to step up, I have above and beyond. And even times when I wasn't asked to step up, I stepped up anyway. And sometimes you step on some toes to do that and you rub people the wrong way. In this case, with this roster, everybody knows that Moose, no matter how many few times he defended that title, no matter what he thought, no matter what look he had on his face or evil things that he said, he dominated for years and is associated not just with TNA, but as being world champion here. So I'm trying to, and he's laid a great groundwork. The buzz has been with TNA for a while now. People were selling out pay-per-views. We're selling out our TNA Impact tapings. We're doing great business, but the reason the business is so well, that groundwork is laid there from the system, from Moose dominating. But now maybe we can take it one step further. Now with a chip on my shoulder, I get a chance as world champion to right a wrong. I get to beat him one-on-one. And if I beat Moose one-on-one, we end this. It's over. He got his rematch clause. He goes back to worrying about the system, maybe the tag team division. Maybe he doesn't take it so well. I don't know. I know that as a professional, I have a job, and that is to maintain not just staying world champion, but going above and beyond and stealing the show from the rest of that card. And that card is stacked because we have tons of talent. And of course, with the NXT, TNA back and forth, you never know who's going to show up at our pay-per-views. You never know who's going to show up on Tuesday night on their show, on Thursday night on our show. That is the great problem to have as a fan, finding enough time in the week to find all these matches out. But most importantly, TV shows are great, matches are big. When it comes to this pay-per-view, when it comes to Victory Road, Moose and I are going to beat the hell out of each other because I can't sit there and not do that. But look at this jaw. It can clearly take a punch. I look to beat his ass right back out. As long as I don't take that spear and know how to evade it and have been doing my homework, I come out on top, and then we are off to the races, selling out more pay-per-views and shows and doing even better than when Moose was running the show.
Moose doesn't look phased, but Moose, you've built a reputation of overcoming some of the biggest names in the business, and facing someone with Nic's background and experience. How does that change your preparation, if at all? And when you're stepping into the ring with a seasoned veteran of his caliber, as Dr. Evil would say?
I mean, like you said it better. I mean, he's a great talent. We all know all the great things Nic has done, but like you said, I'm the guy that's known to beat all the greats that have come through TNA, all the great who started their career from TNA. I've beat them all. Like, name them, I've beat them. I mean, I know he made fun of me on Twitter about a post that I put up. And the point of that post was to acknowledge the fact that some of the champions that is currently in WWE that I beat, like Cody Rhodes, who's a top guy, I beat him. Drew McIntyre, I beat him. Bobby Lashley, I beat him. Priest, I beat him. And like, name him, I've dropped him. And this Friday, I get to beat another great in Nic Nemeth twice. So I'm very confident. I'm confident in my abilities. I'm confident in myself. I'm confident in my legendary status. And I'm gonna take care of business this Friday.
And it's a highly anticipated match. Do either of you think that this could become, defining moments in both of your careers? And for the fans, what should they expect with this because of how highly anticipated it is?
I hope so. I really don't think about that's like for fans and people online to think about seriously. Like, right. And I mean, in all seriousness, like that's for the speculation is like, well, I hope this goes here. We're focusing on, like, I'm thinking of the last time I was 15 minutes into a match, Moose went for a spear. Now this time I need to be ready at the 15-minute mark. That's where he's looking for this, and I'm looking for a weakness here. So I'm not thinking about long term when people look back in 20 years. I'm thinking about I need to find a way to come out on top because I did not find a way to beat him last time. So I'm looking to evolve and make this match even better than the first one. I'm looking to make it not just a show-stealing match on a card where every match can do that. We have to outdo the rest of the card. I have to put on a show, but I also got to beat his ass at the end. He whooped me pretty hard the first time, and I am not okay with it. And the chip on my shoulder has gotten even bigger somehow. But now as the champ, I'm not just fighting for me. I'm fighting to let everybody know that I can be a world champ, maybe for 6 months, maybe a year, maybe 10 years. Maybe I retire with that title. I don't know. But I do know that I need this. I need to beat Moose. He is associated as the world champ. He is TNA. I need to take this one step further and start making the world champ associated with me, the Wanted Man.
And you've both been known for pushing the boundaries. And you mentioned this earlier with, going between shows. How do you feel the evolution of pro wrestling today, and what role do you think you both play in shaping its future because of everything that's going on, not only with this match, but like you said, Nic, earlier, going between NXT and TNA, and you never know who's going to show up. What is happening with this when it comes to the evolution of pro wrestling and this match?
I think this is a great time to be a pro wrestling fan. I know I said this in early interview. I remember in my younger days when I was watching the Attitude Era, just imagining and hoping that somebody from WCW would show up on Monday Night Raw or vice versa. Like I was
Yep.
hoping for those days. Well, these fans, this culture right now, actually get to experience that because they never know who's going to pop up on a TNA pay per view or TNA TV show. They never know who's going to pop up on the NXT show, and that's the great thing about what's going on in this relationship we have. So the fans at the end of the day are the winners in all of this, and I'm happy to be a part of it.
It's awesome, and it's great to see everybody so excited with that whole. We don't know who's going to show up, and as a longtime wrestling fan myself, I mean, I've been watching since I was a kid. It's like you said, Moose. That anticipation of who's going to show up, that's made it so much more exciting in the last couple of years, even just in the last couple of months with the partnership with WWE. Let me ask you this, Nick. You've always been vocal about making the most of every opportunity. What do you see in Moose, not only as an opponent, but as a talent in the business that excites you or pushes you to bring out something new in yourself?
Well, I mean, I already sang his praises, so I don't want to sit here and just make it the blowing smoke to Moose's ass show. But it does. It's like he is a premier athlete and not just a pro wrestler. He's been pro football player, pro wrestler. He's done some crazy. He does several athletic things that I cannot do in that ring. And it blows my mind of his athletic ability. Hopefully, my play here is the experience that I have and the brain. I have this ring psychology. I have ring awareness that I think is out of 10, an 11 maybe, because of the opportunities I've had in the past and striking while the iron is hot whether I have that opportunity or not. So he's great. I do have to do something different. I have to evolve. And I've made that very clear because he's said, hey man, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I'm good. I have to, whether it was broke or not, I have to fix it every night and do better. So I'm setting an example for the locker room. I'm setting an example for pro wrestling. I'm setting an example for world champions. It's not just to sit back and go win a match every once in a while. I'm a fighting champ. I put this title on the line multiple times in the short few months that I've had it. But I want everyone to know that every time I step foot in that ring, it's not to do okay. It's not to do good. It's not to have a bunch of other people have my back. It is to steal the effing show and win. And I'm going to continue to do that as a champion.
And Moose, with all the success you've had in Impact, even as its world champion, is there a legacy that you're trying to build with a match like this against Nick?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Nick is one of the greats, and just being in there with him definitely raises my stock, raises the stock of the company that we could put two stellar guys in front of the world and have them do their thing. And a goal of mine has, and one of the reasons why I've always stayed and never left to go elsewhere, test the waters elsewhere, is because when I'm done and hang the boots up, I want my name to be synonymous to TNA. Right now, when you say those three letters, the name everybody thinks of first is AJ Styles. And 5 years from now, once I hang the boots up, because that's what I'm planning on hanging the boots up, is once my current deal is up, is I want my name to be the first name people think about when they hear TNA.
Did we just get a scoop that you're going to be retiring in 5 years?
Yeah, I mean, that's the plan. I mean, I don't plan on going. I'm not one of those guys that want to keep wrestling until it's 50 and 60. No, I want to hang those boots up and ride to the sunset and enjoy some of this money I made with pro wrestling and pro football. Like,
that's excellent. I'll mark it down. 2029. We won't forget.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining.
Hey, I'll do a favor. I'll go above and beyond. Let's make it 2024, 2025, whatever. I want to get you relaxed, sitting at home on vacation, enjoying your money. I'm rooting for you, buddy. Just not on Friday.
It's not on Friday. Friday, September 13th, Boeing Center at Techport in San Antonio. Nic Nemeth versus Moose. It's the TNA World Championship, the epic TNA World Championship main event. Gentlemen, thanks for joining me. By the way, tickets are available and you can watch on TNA Plus. Thanks, guys.
You got it, bro. Friday night, we got friggin' Victory Road, and Saturday night, we got Impact. Don't forget that. And the best part of that is we get to do those meet and greets with the fans after each night. So check out the information. I know I'm Saturday night. Come say hi with your family. That's the whole point of it. I love this.
TNAWrestling.com if you want to check out the show. Guys, thanks again.
You got it, bro.
Thank you.